Hi guys, welcome back. Exponents rules. The exponential form is x raised to the power n. N is called what? Is a power, and x is called the base. For example, 2 raised to the power 2, we can read it as 2 squared equals 2 times 2 equals 4. And 2 raised to the power 3, we can read it as 2 cubed. It will be 2 times 2 times 2. We will repeat here 2 3 times equals 8. If we have 2 raised to the power 5, we will repeat 2 5 times equals 32. But if we have a term 2x raised to the power 4, we will repeat 2x 4 times, 2x times 2x times 2x times 2x. We'll combine 2 times 2 times 2, the coefficient, and repeat x 4 times. It will be here 16 times x raised to the power 4. It will be 16x raised to the power 4. The basic concept, the first concept, if we have any number like x raised to the power 1 equals the same number. For example, 5 raised to the power 1 equals 5, and 7 raised to the power 1 equals 7, and any variable is raised to the power 1 equals the same variable. The second concept, if we have a 0 power, x raised to the power 0 equals what? Equals 1. So any number raised to the power 0 equals 1 except 0. For example, 5 raised to the power 1 0 equals 1, and the fraction 4 over 6. Concept, if we have a number raised to the power negative n equals 1 over x raised to the power n. Just we will find here the reciprocal of the number and change the power to be positive power. For example, if we have here 3 raised to the power negative 5, it will be 1 over 3 raised to the power 5. So we will repeat the fraction 1 over 3 5 times. It will be 1 over 243. If we have 2 raised to the power negative 3, the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. So it will be 1/2 raised to the power 3. It will be 1 over 8. If we have a fraction 4 over 3 raised to the power negative 2, just find the reciprocal of the fraction 4 over 3. It will be 3 over 4, and change the power to be positive. So it will be 3 over 4 squared equals 9 over 16. And 3 over 2 raised to the power negative 3, the reciprocal of the fraction, it will be 2 over 3, and change the power to be positive. It will be 8 over 27. In general, we can say that x over y raised to the power negative n equals y over x raised to the power n. Next, the next concept, if we have a negative base x raised to the power n, or the value of x over raised to the power n, and x is less than 0, that x here is a negative base, and he is asking here about the power. The value of x raised to the power n is greater than 0, it will be positive if n is an even number, like 0, 2, 4, 6, and so on. But if the power is an odd number, so the value, it will be negative. For example, if we have negative here base, like negative 3 raised to the power 2, or negative 3 squared, 2 is what? 2 is an even power, and we have here a negative base, so the value will be positive. We can write it as 3 squared, or get rid of the negative sign, it will be 9. But if we have here negative 3, the same base is negative, and the power is odd number, so it will be here a negative value equals, we can write it as negative 3 raised to the power 3 equals negative 27. We will study here an exercise. You can stop the video and do the exercise. The first part, compare using greater than, smaller than, or equal. Negative 3 raised to the power 99 and negative 3 raised to the power 100. Negative 2 to the power 1000 and negative 2 raised to the power 1001. Complete the following. If x equals 3, so or then x raised to the power 4 equals 1, x equals negative 5, what is the value of x squared? And 5 over 4 raised to the power negative 4 equals x over y raised to the power 4. Then find x over y raised to the power negative 1. X equals negative 1 and y equals 2. Then x minus y over x plus y raised to the power negative 2 equals what? X equals 1 over 3. What is the value of x raised to the power negative 1? You can stop the video and try to solve by yourself. Now compare using greater than, smaller than, or equal. We have here the same base and the base is negative. 99 is odd power and 100 is an even power. So we have here the value here is positive because we have here an even power, and the value here is negative, so because we have here an odd power, so we write less than. The same idea, we have here the base is negative and the power here is even and the power here is odd, so the value of this exponential form is greater than. If x equals 3, so x raised to the power 4, so it will be 3 raised to the power 4, it will be 81. We will repeat 3 4 times. If x equals negative 5, then x squared equals what? So x equals what? Equals negative 5, so it will be negative 5 raised to the power 2, it will be 5 raised to the power 2, it will be 25. If 5 over 4 raised to the power negative 4 equals x over y raised to the power 4, he is asking here about x over y raised to the power negative 1. We have here 4 over 5 raised to the power negative 4, the power is negative. We can find the reciprocal and change the power to be positive. So we can write it here 4 over 5 raised to the power 4 equals x over y raised to the power 4. Now we have here the same power. X over y equals what? X over y equals 4 over 5. He is asking here about the reciprocal of the fraction because here the power is negative 1. So it will be 5 over 4. So the value of x over y raised to the power negative 1, it will be 5 over 4. X equals negative 1 and y equals 2. X equals negative 1 and y equals 2. We can find here the numerator x minus 1, x minus 1, it will be negative 1 minus 2, it will be negative 3, and x plus y equals negative 1 plus 2 equals 1. So x minus y over x plus y raised to the power negative 2 equals negative 3 divided by 1, it will be negative 3 squared. We have here negative base and an even power, it will be 3 squared equals 9. So the value of the expression equals 9. If x equals 1 over 3, then x raised to the power negative 1, he wants to find the reciprocal of the value of the fraction, it will be 3. So don't forget this rule. Exponents laws. The first law, a raised to the power m times a raised to the power n equals, write the same base a and add the two indices or the two powers, a raised to the power m plus n. For example, 2 raised to the power 2 times 2 raised to the power 3, we will write the same base, which is 2, and 2 plus 3 equals 5, so it will be 2 raised to the power 5 equals what? Equals 32 by repeated multiplication. For example, 3 over 5 raised to the power 3 times negative 3 over 5 raised to the power 4. We have here different bases, 3 over 5 and negative 3 over 5. But here the power is what? Is an even number. so the value will be what? Will be positive. So negative 3 over 5 raised to the power 4 equals 3 over 5 raised to the power 4. And we can apply the rule now. Just write the base and add the two powers. 3 plus 4, it will be 7. But if we have x raised to the power 2 times x raised to the power negative 1, we write x and 2 plus negative 1, it will be 1. So the value will be x. If we have 2x squared times, we will apply the same rule, times negative 3 raised to the power negative 5. 2 times negative 3, it will be negative 6, and 2 plus negative 5, it will be negative 3. So the product will be negative 6 raised to the power negative 3. We will move it down to be x raised to the power 3. So the value will be negative 6 over x cubed. Number 5, 2yx squared times negative 1/2 y x raised to the power negative 3. We will multiply the two coefficients. 2 times negative 1/2, it will be negative 1. Y times y equals y squared, and x squared times x raised to the power negative 3, it will be negative 1. We can move it x raised to the power negative 1 down to be x raised to the power 1. So the product will be negative y squared over x. Negative 2a squared times negative 3 over 8 a raised to the power negative 2. We have here negative 2 times negative 3 over 8, it will be negative positive 3 over 4, and a squared times a raised to the power negative 2, it will be a raised to the power 0, because 2 plus negative 2, it will be 0. So any number raised to the power 0 equals 1, so the product will be 3 over 4. Second rule, a raised to the power m divided by a raised to the power n. Just write the same base and subtract the two powers, m minus n. For example, if we have 2 raised to the power 5 divided by 2 squared equals 2, 5 minus 2 equals what? Equals 3, so it will be 2 cubed equals 8. And x cubed divided by x raised to the power 5, it will be x. 3 minus 5 equals what? Equals negative 2. So move it down to be x squared. It will be 1 over x squared. X squared divided by x raised to the power negative 3. Just write here x, and 2 minus negative 3, it will be 2 plus 3. It will be x raised to the power 5. So the power here is 5. Negative 36x raised to the power negative 2 over 4x, we can write it here, negative 36 divided by 4, it will be negative 9, and we can move here x raised to the power negative 2 down to be x raised to the power 2, so we have here x times x squared, it will be x cubed, so it will be negative 9x raised to the power negative 3. Move negative 3 down to be x cubed, it will be negative 9 over x cubed. But if we have 6x raised to the power negative 3 over 8x raised to the power negative 4, we will simplify the fraction. 6 over 8 dividing by 2, it will be here 3 over 4, and we can move x raised to the power negative 4 up to be x raised to the power 4, and move x raised to the power negative 3 to be x cubed down with positive power. So we can write it here 6x raised to the power 4 over 8x cubed. We can simplify the fraction to be 3 over 4, and x raised to the power 4 divided by x raised to the power 3. We can subtract the two powers here. 4 minus 3 equals 1, so we have here x raised to the power 1. So the value of the expression, it will be 3 over 4 x raised to the power 1. Apply the rule. When we divide, we will subtract the two powers, m minus m, so don't forget this rule. Exercise. You can stop the video and do the exercise. If 4 raised to the power x equals 5, find the value of 4 raised to the power x plus 2. Keep your eye on this expression 4 raised to the power x plus 2, we can write it here 4 raised to the power x plus 2 as 4 raised to the power x times 4 squared. Okay, but we have here the value of 4 raised to the power x equals what? Equals 5. So we can write here 5 times 4 squared equals what? Equals 16. 5 times 16 equals 80. So the value of the expression 4 raised to the power x plus 2 equals 80. Next, ab raised to the power m equals a raised to the power m times b raised to the power m. So this power is a power of a and power of b. For example, if we have here 2 times 5 raised to the power 2, it will be 2 squared times 5 squared. 2 squared equals 4 and 5 squared equals 25. 4 times 25 equals 100. For example, xy means x times y raised to the power 5. So this power is a power of x and power of y. So x to the power 5 and y to the power 5. Another rule or another law, a over b raised to the power m equals a raised to the power m over b raised to the power m. So this power, which is m, is a power of a and power of b. For example, if we have negative 3 over 5 raised to the power 3, it will be negative 3 raised to the power 3 over 5 cubed. It will be negative 27 over 125. If we have expression 1/2 xy over 2 cubed, so this power is a power of 1/2 and x and y and 2. So it will be 1 over 8 x cubed y cubed, and 1 over 8 divided by 8, it will be 1 over 64. So it will be x cubed y cubed over 64. Another rule, if we have two powers or two indices like m and m, one outside and other is inside, just multiply, write the same base and multiply the two powers. So it will be a over b raised to the power m times n. For example, if we have here 2 over 3 raised to the power negative 2, all the power 3, just multiply the two powers. 3 times negative 2, it will be negative 6, and keep the same base 2 over 3. We have here a negative power we studied before. Just find the reciprocal of 2 over 3, it will be 3 over 2, and change the sign or change the power to be positive power. So it will be 3 over 2 raised to the power 6. If we have the expression x squared y raised to the power 7 over x cubed y to the power 5 all 2, and we need to simplify this expression, just simplify inside the two brackets, then we will deal with the outside power. X squared divided by x raised to the power 3, it will be x raised to the power negative 1. Just subtract here the two powers, and y raised to the power 7 over or divided by y raised to the power 5, just y squared, because 7 minus 5 equals 2, and write the outside index. So it will be y squared raised to the power x, it will be y raised to the power 4 over x squared. Just multiply the two powers. Exercise, you can stop the video and do the exercise by yourself. If 3 raised to the power x equals 5, what is the value of 27 raised to the power x? We can write 27 raised to the power x equals 3 raised to the power 3 all x, because 27 we can write here as exponential form 3 cubed all x, but we can here switch x and 3 because we can multiply here the commutative property for multiplication, multiply the two powers. We can write it here as 3 raised to the power x all cubed all 3, but we have here the value of 3 raised to the power x equals 5. So we can delete 3 raised to the power x and write 5. So 27 raised to the power x equals 5 cubed. 5 cubed equals what? Equals 5 times 5 times 5. It will be 125. Next, remember now the exponential forms or the exponential rules, laws of exponential. The first one we studied before, that we have any number over 1 or the exponential is 1, so equals the same number. So we have here x raised to the power 1, it will be x. And if we have here the 0 power x raised to the power 0 equals 1, so any number raised to the power 0 equals 1 except 0. And if we have here in multiplication rule x raised to the power m times x raised to the power n, just we will write the same base and add the two indices. For example, 7 squared times 7 cubed, it will be 7 raised to the power 2 plus 3 equals 5. And the second rule in division, just subtract here the two powers, so it will be x raised to the power m minus n. For example, 5 raised to the power 5 divided by 5 to the power 7, just we will write 5 and 5 minus 7, it will be what? It will be negative 2. For example, or the second rule, xy raised to the power n, so it will be x to the power n, y to the power n. For example, 2 times 5 squared, all squared, equals 2 squared times 5 squared, we studied before. And if we have here the same rule but in division, x over y raised to the power n, so the power, it will be up or down, x raised to the power n over y to the power n. For example, 3 over 2 raised to the power negative 2, it will be 3 raised to the power negative 2 over 2 raised to the power negative 2. The last one, if we have two powers m and n, we can multiply the two powers and keep the same base, so it will be x raised to the power m times n. For example, x squared all negative 3, it will be x raised to the power 2 times negative 3, it will be negative 6.